Welcome to TechNOW. I'm your host, John Reid, also CEO of CATA Alliance, and we're joined today by Steve Rodin, President and CEO of Storagepipe Solutions. Steve created his first business when he was 14, pretty timely because our topic is entrepreneurship. How do we drive entrepreneurial success in Canada? How do we become the world's best in terms of entrepreneurial success? So Steve, give us a little bit of an elevator pitch on your company, and then share some of your insights on that entrepreneurial energy and bubble. How do we create it in Canada?
Thanks, John. Yeah, no, absolutely. So yes, as you mentioned, I'm the CEO of Storagepipe, and we're focused on online backup and recovery and disaster recovery solutions and services for the business market, and we also work heavily with partners both in Canada and the US and around the world in using our technology to assist companies in protecting information. That's essentially what we do. And when I look at entrepreneurship, as you mentioned, I started an entrepreneur very young and started my first business, and what I loved about it was the excitement, the freedom, frankly, of being able to do something on your own, getting started, and being able to really utilize all of your skills. And as an entrepreneur, you're forced almost to wear many hats, to get involved in a lot of different areas, especially in a pure startup. And it does stretch your imagination and stretch your skills in many cases. And I think that's the exciting part. It's one of the things that I think can motivate young people, because I think young people are naturally more of risk takers. They're more interested in doing things on their own, and if we empower them with the right capabilities and we give the young people more freedom to do that and more resources and skills, and they build that, then they can certainly start many different kinds of businesses, and they can really be successful at it. Frankly, we've got a great Canadian ecosystem of small companies and larger companies that can assist, and lots of entrepreneurs now have had a lot of experience in working, especially in technology.
Well, you were successful. Was there a key resource that you were able to access? I always think of money, market, and people. I mean, you have to combine those, but what was the difficulty, and what was really the positive feature of the Canadian economy? Let's start with the biggest challenge.
Well, when I was when I started my first tech business, I was coming out of consulting. And I think what that gave me was a grounding in some of the fundamentals and skills that I needed to have in order to start a business. So I still think it's very important for young people, young entrepreneurs, to build the skill through education, whether that's technical education, financial education, scientific education. But one of the things that we didn't really have, and one of the things that you have to kind of build on the fly and that you have to build in your teams is sales, I think. And sales can be critically important when you're looking at young companies, because you need those first customers, right? Those first people that are going to look at your idea, look at your concept, or look at your actual product and give you a shot. And so you've got to find those willing companies or those willing people to take it on. And I think sales and marketing and finding your market and being very specific about that is critically important when you're getting started in a new business. And I think that was one of the things that, in terms of when I was getting started, we were getting out there, we were developing an idea, but we were changing on the fly, and I think that is what you sometimes have to do. You have to develop the product initially, and now a big word is pivoting. You have to change and pivot around a concept, but I think that's always been the case. I think you've always had to be very nimble as an entrepreneur and as an entrepreneurial organization, just to be critically important for that.
Well, Steve, first customer, I hear that time and time again, and part of the reasons we have these discussions is so that as a group, CATA can advocate on behalf of the industry. And I've heard the importance, certainly with governments, we've tried to stress, think about that Canadian purchase, what it means for international sales. So I think this morning you've given us a very good perspective on entrepreneurship. You started your first business at 14. You've also given us some good pointers for a go-forward plan. So thanks for joining us for TechNOW, and thank you for sharing your insights.
Thanks for having me, John. Take care.